Recession is coming and government numbers are hiding it. A few days ago, the Wall Street Journal published an article worrying that the job market is failing on all fronts. This matters because jobs were the last man standing in this very non-recession of ours, and they are now giving up the ghost. Zero Hedge was more direct, saying the job market is, quote, imploding. What knocked the Journal off their everything is fine script was a drumbeat of new numbers showing unemployment is rising, wages are falling, Americans are taking longer to find a new job, and they are holding on to bad jobs. But what really sealed the deal was a huge number that came out just after the Journal hit publish: job openings. Those were down 800,000 on the month and missed expectations by over 500,000. Now, you might wonder why Wall Street pays analysts who miss by 500,000 jobs, but to be fair, they are working with government numbers here. I've mentioned in recent videos how jobs are the only thing saving this economy. Almost every other number is either recession level or is dragged out of the recession gutter by those jobs numbers. Of course, a lot of that is smoke and mirrors, given that roughly 5 million Americans dropped out of the workforce during COVID, either retiring early or bribed onto the couch by government benefits. Without that, unemployment would be about 6.5% to 7% right now, which is almost exactly where it was at the beginning of the 2008 crisis. Still, even that free lunch is running out. Along with the 800,000 missed openings, the BLS also revised 848,000 other jobs into oblivion, which is really fun since media reports the good news immediately. That all gets a lot of press, and then nobody notices the revisions. Now, for those following along at home, that means we've lost almost 3.5 million job openings since the Fed started hiking. So that's about 30% of all job openings in the economy. Meanwhile, other real-world indicators of the job market are also fading along with it. So workers have stopped quitting jobs, meaning they're afraid of finding another one. Holiday hiring is anemic. Normally you get a lot of temp workers. Raises are getting smaller, which is pulling out the last thing that was keeping wages at least close to keeping up with inflation. Finally, continuing unemployment claims, that means people who can't find jobs for longer and longer periods, has been on a relentless climb since September. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained. Beyond the ugly spectacle of governments lying about numbers, the risk is that the Fed could be raising rates into a much weaker economy than they think. This could lead to the mother of what economists call policy errors, meaning the Fed goes way too far and then it has to whiplash back. To be fair, the Fed has done that in almost every recession because it's incompetent, so it should not be a surprise. But given the magnitude of this one, it could get very ugly. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.